Namaste, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Again, today is Wednesday, 5 p.m., and I am back with my story box. So, the story that today I'm going to tell is the story of Eklavya. But before I begin with the story, let me tell you all that if you all join in, please drop in the hi in the comment section box. And wherever you feel that you want to comment in the story, feel free and use the comment section box generously so that I can connect with you all. So, why I chose to, take this story and the mythological section is because I believe that children should listen to mythological stories, mainly because it keeps them connected to our culture. So, and India, we are very fortunate, because we live in a country which is so rich in culture. So, why not share all the stories of our culture and heritage with our children and let the generation which is coming up know the richness of our culture? So, this is a story of Eklavya. And before I start the story, let me tell a hi to Vandarasi, Venkata, Namaste, Ritvika, Aditya, hi, Jyoti, hi. So, this is the story of Mahabharata. So, I know every one of you know the wonderful epic book that is Mahabharata because it teaches us lot many things, and each and every incident that is put in that book is wonderful and a lesson to learn for life. This story is the best example of discipleship. So, this is a story of a guru and a disciple. So, let me start this story and give you a little brief. And when you talk to your children or when you're showing this story to your children, please make sure that you explain this story very nicely to the children because it's very important for children to learn this kind of lesson. So it was the time when the prince of Hastinapur, the five Pandavas and the 100 Kauravas, they were sent to the Guruji, Guru Dronacharya, for their education. Because in those times, the education never happened in the palaces. The students, the disciples, the pupils had to go to the ashram and then take their vidya, that is the education. And it was in all types, like they had to learn the skills of battles, they had to learn other skills like archery, sword, everything. So Guru Dronacharya was a wonderful, perfect guru for the Kauravas and for the Pandavas. Now, there was a little boy, a tribal boy. He was not from the royal family. He was not from the prince. So this boy, you can see the picture right here. I have put the picture of Dronacharya and of Eklavya. So this Eklavya once saw Guru Dronacharya and he was imparting education to his students. And this was the time when Guru Dronacharya was making Arjun learn the archery art. Eklavya saw this and was too much attracted towards archery, and he went to Guru Dronacharya and bowed down and said, Namaste Guru, I am Eklavya and I look forward to become your disciple and learn archery from you. At this, Dronacharya welcomed him and asked him about his details. So, at this, Eklavya told that he comes from a tribal family and not from the royal family. So, Guru Dronacharya said that Dronacharya has to only educate and teach the royal families. He cannot teach the tribals. At this, Eklavya was very sad. Eklavya requested, but Dronacharya was very firm in this decision that he won't teach the tribals. He is only the guru for the royals. Eklavya was very sad. बहुत निराश हो गया एकलव्य. He went back home But in his hearts, in his minds, he had decided that his guru is going to be Dronacharya. So what did he do? He took some clay and started making a sculpture, an image, an idol of Guru Dronacharya. And he was able to successfully make a beautiful idol of Guru Dronacharya. He placed that idol under a tree, and every single day he started learning archery on his own. One day it happened that Eklavya now had become a very skilled archery person. So he was able to, play archery so well, and he was able to shoot the arrows so well that he was, I think, at that time one of the best person for archery. One day, while Eklavya was practicing archery, there was one dog who was continuously barking. This was disturbing Eklavya. So what did he do? He shot 5 arrows to the dog to shut his mouth. But he shot it so beautifully that it locked the dog's mouth without even hurting him. And this only a skilled person could do. No one else could do. At that particular time, Dronacharya, Pandavas, and the Kauravas happened to pass from that way. They paused, and Dronacharya was amazed and shocked to see that who could shoot a dog like this without hurting and locking the dog's mouth. He was very curious to know, so he walked in the jungle towards from where this arrow was shot on that path, and he reached to Eklavya. He could not recognize Eklavya, but Eklavya recognized his Guruji, and very, in a fraction of a second, he lied down on his Guruji's feet and asked for blessings. Guruji definitely blessed Eklavya and asked, from where did he learn this skillful archery? At this, Eklavya very humbly bowed down and told Guruji that Guruji, years back I had come to you and you had denied because I was not from the royal kingdom and I was a tribal boy. So you refused to take me as your disciple. But I had taken you in my heart as my Guruji. So I made an idol out of clay, and this is my Guruji. Dronacharya looked at the idol and he was surprised because that idol was of Guru Dronacharya. At this, instead of being happy, Dronacharya became very angry because without Dronacharya's permission, Eklavya had taken him as Eklavya's guru. So what happened? At that time, Guru Dronacharya started scolding Eklavya. Without my permission, you cannot take me as your guru. I have denied that I will not be your guru because I am the gurus of and for only the royal families. At this, Eklavya very humbly confessed his mistake and asked that if any punishment could be given to him. At this, Guru Dronacharya said, I won't punish you, dear, but since you've taken me as your guru, you will have to offer me Guru Dakshina. Now, Guru Dakshina at that time was offered by the disciples to the Guru. So, whatever the Guru asked, the disciples made sure that they brought and gave it to the Gurus as the Guru Dakshina. Eklavya was very happy because that was the happiest moment to offer Guru Dakshina to his mentor, to his Guru. He said, whatever you ask, Guruji, I will be happy to give you. At this, Dronacharya said, Eklavya, I want the thumb of your right hand. Listening this, Eklavya did not take a second. He pulled off a little knife that was in his pocket and cut off his thumb and started bleeding. Everyone there, the Kauravas, the Pandavas, kept on looking. Why did the Guruji act like this? Why did he ask for the right thumb? Because now without this thumb, Eklavya would not be able to shoot any arrows. His art, his art of archery was now a waste. So Arjun had this question in his mind, but Eklavya had smile on his face because he could give what the Guruji had asked. Whenever in history, whenever today we talk about the devotion of a disciple, we always talk about Eklavya because what Eklavya has done for his Guruji, none other person in the history has done. We remember Arjuna for the best archery act that he performs. But when it comes to guru and disciple relationship, when it comes to the devotion of a disciple, we always remember Eklavya. There are many stories like these in our culture, which our children should know. I think when we tell these stories to our children, they understand to respect their gurus, their mentors, their teachers. It's very important that we share these stories, these kind, because our culture is filled with ample of stories like these, which not only enhance our knowledge, but they give us a thought process. And when a generation is raised with these stories, it makes an impact. It's a character building because not only children learn how to think, but they learn the lessons of life. Mahabharata and Ramayana are two epics in which each and every small incident also has a meaning for life. I request every one of you to share all the stories to your children. It takes hardly 10 minutes to narrate a story, but these 10 minutes we teach children lessons for life. It could be any story form, not only mythological stories, but Akbar Birbal stories, Tenali Raman stories, or it could be just simple Amachitra Katha stories, Panchratna stories, whichever stories. But 10 minutes, if we make sure that we read out a story or we narrate a story, I think children will have a different angle to look at life. Showing stories over television and telling it physically to a children has two different impacts. So if you do anyways, you choose any medium to show a story or tell a story to the children, it's perfectly up to a parent. But I would encourage that बच्चों को story बोलिए at any age. You know, children of 2 years and children of 20 years love to listen to the stories. So present stories, find stories, and read out and narrate stories to them. And then, after you finish the story, don't leave the story there. What I do is that every time I read out a story or tell a story to my children, what I do is then I take that story a little further. So, for example, if I talked about this story of Eklavya, when I told this story to my children, I paused after I finished the story. And then I asked my children, what did they understand from this story? Children may come up with various things, that they may like the Guru because there are two things that has happened. What Guru Dronacharya has done was not actually correct from the part of from that part of point of view that a disciple who had chosen him as a guru, and just because Guru Dronacharya wanted Arjuna to be the best archer, he took off Eklavya's thumb. So I think children at that point will not definitely understand that, but they can come up with something like this, that why did the Guruji do this? And they may come up with questions that how did Eklavya learn without any guru? So these questions should pop up in a child's mind because this means that their thinking skills are enhancing. So they may, ask you, like my daughter asked me today, that how did he shoot 5 arrows to lock the dog's mouth? And she wanted to visualize that picture. So I just gave her 5 minutes that you think that how would he lock the dog's mouth with those 5 arrows without even hurting the dog? So see, telling a story and then taking this story to another level is very important because it has to penetrate inside, and once it's when you start talking about these stories with your children, definitely children will start absorbing that story. Then what you can do is that once you tell the story to your child, then ask the child to tell you that story. And this is the way, these stories will remain with the children. So enjoy storytelling and share this wonderful story of Eklavya with your children. So this is a bye from Mom Harsha, and see you again next Wednesday with a wonderful story. Bye bye. Thank you.